But Hossein misunderstood one thing. He thought there was an operator in each SKTS in the array, and was prepared to be thrown into a group fight. Hence, he thought he should get rid of the first warframe coming at him as fast as possible, so that it would be easier for him to deal with the rest. Liu Changming and the director of the commercial Zhu Wenchang were monitoring Hossein's practice through a monitor. Suddenly seeing a SKTS moving, they both paused. And then Liu Changming suddenly knew what was happening and his face became grave. It must be Yu Qingzhen. This is such nonsense. Ready to ask someone to stop her, Liu Changming rose up but was stopped by Zhu Wenchang, who smiled and said, "Liu, it is okay. You said Hossein is a warframe genius, so wouldn't it be brilliant if he could just beat her so that she would play her role willingly?" Quote. Liu Changming said, a wry smile, "Zhu, you do not know Yu's background. She comes from a warframe family where generations of people have been dedicated to warframe operation. She was sent to the special warframe force when she turned 16 and have been practicing with the best men ever since. Few at her age could be better than her at warframe." Having taken a deep breath, Liu Changming continued, "Hossein is very good, but I cannot guarantee that he will be able to beat her. Moreover, she has been practicing on SKTS for days, while he is just getting started. The performance of SKTS is much worse than Silver Killer, so he must be still getting used to it." "Ugh, let's stop her immediately then," Zhu Wenchang quickly said. "It's too late. Let's hope for the best," Liu Changming said with a wry smile. Even if he sent someone right now, it would be too late for that person to stop you. Yu Qingzhen's style of operation was like her character, taking a lead whenever possible. She would fight without fear even when she was against someone much stronger than herself. Yu Qingzhen drove SKTS at full speed toward Hossein. With the power generated from the high speed, the SKTS wielded a sword from above fiercely. Seeing Hossein raising his sword to block her strike, she felt more disdained. With the same warframe, hers had a higher speed than his, so it was predictable that his warframe would suffer more. Once his warframe fell to the ground, he would have no chance to adjust before she beat him. Yu Qingzhen's strike was so fierce that she seemed to have put all her anger in it. The swords were merely 10 inches apart and were about to collide. Considering the size of SKTS, the distance was alarming. At this time, Yu suddenly saw Hossein's sword had disappeared. Yu Qingzhen was shocked, but at this point there was nothing she could do other than watching the other SKTS turning swiftly and briskly appearing behind her. Bang! In the blink of an eye, Hossein controlled his SKTS to kick the other warframe on the back. Accompanied by its inertia of going forward, Yu's warframe was brought to its knees. With the intense impact, Yu Qingzhen was dumbfounded, not just because of the physical pain, but also because she could not believe she would lose like this, to someone that she despised. For a moment, she did not move. She knew her opponent could have used his sword instead of foot, which would ruin her and her SKTS. Liu Changming and Zhu Wenchang were also dazed. They had never thought that she would lose so fast. "This young man is really good," commented Liu Changming gladly. He had had enough of Yu Qingzhen's festering these days. Now she had no reasons to complain. Zhu Wenchang also smiled and said, "Indeed, it is wonderful for an evolved person to have such performance." Trying to taking it from other SKTS when Hossein got rid of Yu Qingzhen, he found the other warframes remained still. It seemed that it was the only Warframe that he was supposed to spar with. When Hossein was confused, a beautiful girl in white uniform came out of the SKTS on the floor. She was breathtaking and even comparable to Ji Yunran, although Ji was sweet, while Yu Qingzhen was valiant. They were both gorgeous in their own style. The real Warframes have too much constraint. We should fight again using the holographic simulation machine, Yu said aloud, walking toward Hossein. She was not convinced and thought her loss must be because she had underestimated her opponent. However, at this time, she had to concede that Hossein was a great Warframe operator and not someone she could beat easily. After all, it was not the battlefield and SKTS was quite expensive, so she wanted to ask him to use the simulation to fight, where they would have less constraints. Hossein thought she was an opponent arranged by the company and followed her lead to the simulation machine. As he was walking, Hossein thought, Digang is so thoughtful to have arranged such a beauty to spar with me. I was being so rude to her and have to act like a gentleman later. Hossein was, of course, not thinking about losing on purpose. He only intended to wait longer before he won, letting the girl show her strength. Digang had paid for his operation skills, and why would they do that? If he could not even beat the girl they had arranged,